My good people, welcome to another market breakdown session with me, where I am going to be taking you guys through what has gold been doing for the past few weeks, the big crash and everything that has been happening. And I'm not even gonna lie, past few weeks has been the most toughest weeks for me as a trader because I wasn't expecting this drop to be this big. See, when you install like the market buyers, like the directional buyers on your head, it's often difficult for you to shift from that way of seeing price to the way price is actually. Hence why I've learned that whenever you approach price, trade price for what it is. Don't trade price for what you think it is actually, right? Because if we could all admit that gold was bearish, I think we're all gonna make money. But the fact remains to be, we all believe that gold was bullish, was bullish. So we kept buying all the demands that price presented in front of us until we actually got to realize that no, man, this thing is actually bearish. But without wasting any of your time, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that when I drop market breakdown sessions and other exclusive content that is coming that we are currently preparing, you can be notified. And please share this with your friends and family so they can learn a thing or two from me. And like I said, gold has been bullish, right? But we entered like a mega correctional structure, right? This is the second biggest correctional structure. We have this one here. Actually, this is the first, actually. Yeah, this is the first ever biggest correctional structure because of the ones that I know. It's this one here, and I also know this one here also. So these are the ones that I've actually got to see for the past few, I would say years, yeah, past year actually. And let's just go through this area here. So gold was bullish, right? Gold has been bullish. We had an impulsive structure, correctional, impulse correction, impulse correction. Impulse, we have a mega correction, which means that you're looking for a mega impulsive movement to the upside. The same way gold has been doing the same thing over and over again within within these two areas here, right? And then if we're to remove everything, so this is where we made our first mistake, right? This is where the majority made their first mistake, including myself. So the first push to the downside, right? This first push to the downside here, right? This first push to the downside here. It was a false move, right? And then after that, the real move came down afterwards. Then price is, if price doesn't buy from here, then this means that I genuinely do not know where gold is going at the moment. It's gonna crash to wherever that it wants to crash to. But at the moment, this is the area that I'm quite confident with that price is most likely to respect, right? What is the main objective of us trading? Our main objective for us is to do what? Is to sell highs and buy lows. That's the rule of supply and demand. We sell the high, then we do what? We come down and buy the low. So what did price do? Price came down to do what? To tap into our funded area, right? Price came down and tapped into our funded area, right? Which means from here we are looking for buying opportunities to the upside. Then from there, this means that this is most likely to become what? This is most likely to become our temporary low. So this would be our temporary. This would be our temporary low, right? Meaning that this is our inducement level. Yeah, we want to see price eliminating the low, then shifting the structure of the market. Let me just put it on top for now. We want to see price eliminating this level here and then shifting the structure of price back to the upside. But now, before we actually do this thing, let's just do a bar replay, right? I just want us to do a bar replay and reanalyze this structure with you guys so that you can learn a thing or two from me. Let's go back to possibly a 4 hour time frame, right? I want us to go back to a 4 hour time frame and see what exactly has been happening, right? So price pushed to the downside, giving us a mega correctional structure. And then from there, we saw an internal impulsive movement, right? We saw an internal impulsive movement, right? And then, like we said, everyone was looking for buying opportunities at this level here because of either an SNR, we had an SNR level here. Let me actually go to a daily time frame so that this thing can make sense. We had this SNR here that had the strength of reversing the structure of price. Some had the demand area resting somewhere, I think around this level here, right? Some had this POI here. Let's actually go check on a 2 day time frame if there was anything there, 3 day. But there was something. I think I once saw something here. There was a point of interest somewhere around this zone here. Let's go check in 8 hour. You see? 16 hours. I think it's building up now. So there was something around here. Let's check 20 hours. Or what time frame was that? Let's check 19. Right. So we are doing this thing to go check if there was a demand area resting somewhere around this level here that actually changed the structure of price from um internal correctional to an impulsive movement. So we're looking for something somewhere around this level here. So there's the zone that we're looking for. But like I said, there might be a demand on other brokers, but looks like on this one there isn't anything, right? So if this zone here is our demand area, it acts as a real demand at the moment because of this what everyone was actually anticipating. Then from there, do you see what happens? Price pushes up, and then it does what? It finds a supply area, right? It finds what? The supply area here. Guys, truth be told, I genuinely believe that that demand was accurate and price was most likely to break. What I was expecting is actually price respecting the supply area, right? Respect the supply, push to the downside, take this low out, respect the demand area, the real demand area resting here, then you can see the impulsive movement to come and eliminate area. No, this thing is different, right? This demand area here is not the real demand, but this is what? Some sort of a real supply area, because this supply area is the one that's going to drive price to a real demand. Then from there, we're going to buy, right? The structure of supply and demand. What do? We sell, or we buy the mid zone so that we can come and sell the supply, so that we can come and buy the real demand afterwards and impulse with price to the upside to go and eliminate that high there, right? So now this means that we had to sell the premium area. We had to do what? We had to sell the premium area, right? So hence why this supply area here, whoever thought it was a fake supply or a wrong supply or an invalid supply, they were wrong actually, because of this supply is the one that holds the value of price, as you guys can see. Price pushes up, taps into this supply here. Now, what happens now is this means that okay, if price taps into the supply area, then I think there's something wrong with my mouse, man. I genuinely think there's something wrong with my. I don't know if it's batteries or what, but or it's the board that I'm using. Okay, so now when price taps into the supply, everyone is believing that, okay, listen, price is most likely to come and tap into a POI resting somewhere here. The idea was good, right? But it failed eventually, right? As you guys can see that, okay, after the tap into that, we have a break of structure, a shift, which means the supply area here is most likely to work, right? Price is most likely to come tap here and then possibly impulse up again to a supply area because of the break that is going to happen here. Then you're going to see that push to the downside to the real demand and then a mega impulsive movement to the upside, right? Then what do we see? Okay, price misses that level and that it eliminates everything, right? So we can all see that, okay, what happened here was the demand area that we're anticipating to see price respect, price broke it. And then the push, normally when we trade like supply and demand and SMC, we know that after a change of character, we want price to push at least to the premium area, which means this would be a fail setup also. So I think the bearish momentum was strong to a point where price didn't even give itself time to actually reverse, right? Then which is fine. The fact remains to be the supply held and then the demand failed to hold the value of price, right? And then from then I was like, no, man, if price is actually moving like this, where is price going? Then I went to a 4-day time frame. Then I was like, oh, now it makes sense that this supply was the supply that price we had to sell price from. This demand was the mid demand area, right? This was the mid demand area that drove price to a supply, the supply that drove price to a real demand, which means from here, the only thing that we should be doing is looking for buying opportunities on gold, right? The only thing that we should be doing is looking for buying opportunities on gold, right? Which means gold is in a state of bullishness, right? I'm looking for buying opportunities on gold. And then, like I said, inside this bullishness, there'll be internal impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse, until we eventually do what? Break the zone. Like I said, your main goal is to come and buy all these lows here. All these lows here, what creates them or what stops price from correcting? It's key levels, right? You must go and look for internal key levels that can stop the value of price from correcting. So you can buy all the lows until you eliminate that high then, right? Okay, moving on. What is it that we see at the moment? We see that if we go to possibly a 1 hour time frame, I was looking for something yesterday, right? Which didn't happen, bothered me. Let's go to 1 hour actually. I want to go to 20 minutes. So on this time frame here, what I was anticipating on price was seeing price actually testing my demand area, which was somewhere around this level here, right? Because of we've tapped into a supply level here. So I was looking forward to seeing price reverse from this level here um, to the downside to come and tap into my POI. But I'm not sure. Maybe there might have been like a bigger demand area here that price has used. Let's check. Let's give it a check, right? Let's go to 1 hour. Nothing. 45 minutes. Then we can go to 80 minutes. Okay, 80 is giving us something. Let's go to 2 hours. Nothing. 90 minutes. I'm looking for an area, man. There's an area that I'm looking for. Guys, normalize getting like the premium, what do you call this thing? Trading view, because things like this, you don't get to see them on your normal trading view. You see that setup didn't make sense on the other side, but now it's starting to make sense. Right. And then let's go. Actually, let me not change this one. This one remains to be the same. And then let's go back to our 30 minutes time frame, right? So you can see that okay, the setup was actually correct. It's just that I have refined my point of interest at this level here. Right. Price came tapped into the supply area, came tap into a real demand, and then from there we saw a mega impulsive movement. The same way we did the same thing here. Tapped into a supply zone, price pushed down to miss our demand area. Let's check actually if it missed the demand or what. Scale down through time frames. Yeah, it missed the demand. Can even see that even these two candlesticks here, they act as a demand area. Yeah, all of them. They act as a demand on a 45 minutes time frame. Yeah, price missed this demand area here. We had like clean A setups, but price like it didn't want to go deep on them. Right. We had clean setups, but price didn't want to go deep on them, right? I think it's even this one, right? Let's check it, 10 minutes. Actually, let's go to 4 minutes. Right. Even this the next setup after that, right? Price broke this high here, tapped into a supply, right? You can see there's a tap into the supply zone here. But you can see this beautiful tap into the supply zone. Let me change this to a demand. There's a tap into this supply zone here. And then let me just fix it. There's a tap into that supply zone, a push to the downside toward the nearest demand area. And you can see that this is the only demand area that we are going to use. Price fails to come and respect that demand, right? But like I said, these are some of the things that keep happening in the financial market, right? And one thing that I want most of you guys to understand is be free to understand that some setups are gonna work, some setups won't work. So we didn't have a setup, truth be told. I didn't have a setup at that moment. My demand was this zone here. My other demand was this level here, but none of them were tapped into, so which means we didn't have any form of setups. But for now, what we're expecting on gold, since well, let me see. Let's go to an hourly time frame. What we're currently expecting on gold is just a push to the downside, a bit of a push to the downside, and then an impulsive movement to come and eliminate that high there, right? And yeah, but just know that let me not give you guys the code. Because if I tell you guys how we trade, then just know that there'll be a correctional structure and an impulsive structure. Go find out what is it that you can use to actually buy gold from the low so that you can tell the high. You see how I keep trying to buy all these lows here. Try buying this low, try buying this low here also, right? Try buying all these lows. And so I said that every impulse correction move when it ends, there is an area for you to buy. Impulse correction, there's an area for you to buy. Impulse correction, there's an area for you to buy on the end of the correction. So which means there's an impulse, then there's a correction. There'll be an area for you to buy. You can either buy using this breakup log or whatever, plus there's inducement here. Then you can impulse with price to the upside. But without wasting any of your time, hope you guys enjoyed this session, and I'm wishing you guys nothing but a profitable trading week.